This is AMIRAH and you are watching.
This is NURELYSA and you are watching.
This is ADLIN INSYIRAH and you're watching
HAFIY HARITHS and you are watching
Word assignment video.
Welcome back to a new episode of Legal Lesson. Buckle up, peoples. Season 14, Episode 5. Meet your host for today's episode.
This is Ali. One day, the weather was so hot, so Ali decided to go to the market to buy some ice cream. He walked alone on his way to the market. Suddenly, he was approached by someone he didn't know. Who's that? Ali, stay safe!
Don't move or I will shoot you.
Oh my god, he got a gun!
Go inside the store and steal the iPhone 17 Pro Max. If you don't do it, I will kill you and your wife.
Poor Ali. What will happen to Ali if he did it? And that is why we need
General Defenses.
We will be talking about general defenses in criminal law. In criminal law, a person is usually punished when they commit a crime with intention. To prove this, the prosecution must show two things: actus rea, which means the act itself, and mens rea, which refer to the intention or guilty mind behind the act. Because of this, the law provides that we call general defenses, which allow the accused to avoid or reduce criminal liability in appropriate situations.
This is where the concept of general defenses becomes important. General defenses are legal defenses that are available to an accused person to avoid or reduce criminal liability, even when the accused has technically committed the offense. These defenses are called general because they are applied to a wide range of criminal offense rather than being limited to a specific offense. The purpose of general defenses are to ensure that criminal punishment is only imposed when it is morally and legally justified.
In Malaysia, general defenses are mainly provided under Section 76 to 106 of the Penal Code. These provisions reflect the principle that criminal responsibility should take into account not only the act committed but also the surrounding circumstances and the mental condition of the accused at that time of the offense. Therefore, even if the prosecution succeeds in proving actus reus and mens rea, the accused may still escape liability if he or she can successfully raise a general defense.
Basically, general defenses can be grouped into a few main categories. Some defenses exist because the accused did not have intention like mistake or offense or accident. Some are based on the mental condition of the accused, such as insanity. There are also defenses where the accused acted under pressure or in an emergency situation, like duress and necessity. Lastly, some defenses justify the act itself, such as private defense and consent.
The first case.
Could you betray me? You marry another man?
Case citation.
This is what happened in the case Queen against Tolson in 1889, with the citation Volume 23, Queensbank Division, page 468.
Facts of the case.
These are the facts of the case. The accused was married in September 1880, but in December 1881, her husband went missing after a shipwreck and was presumed dead. After 6 years of absence, she remarried in good faith, believing her husband had died.
Unexpectedly, her first husband returned 11 months later, alive. The accused is Mrs. Tolson, which is the wife. She was charged with bigamy, marrying another person while the first spouse is still alive.
Legal principle.
Legal principle in the case established that an honest and reasonable belief in state of fact can be a valid defense.
General defense context, this case highlights that criminal liability requires both actus reus and mens rea. If the accused acts under a reasonable mistake of fact, the mens rea is absent.
The application is Mrs. Tolson's belief that her husband was dead was both honest and reasonable, so she lacked up the guilty intent required for bigamy.
Court decision.
The outcome of the case is the defense was accepted because the court held that mens rea is essential in criminal law. Since Mrs. Tolson genuinely believed her husband was dead, she did not have the criminal intent to commit bigamy. The decision emphasized the importance of reasonable mistake of fact as a defense in criminal cases.
The second case.
Carry this bag from the border to the railway station. If you do it, I'll give you $400. If you don't, I'll show you!
I guess I have no other choice but to follow you.
Case citation.
What you just saw in the previous clip is a visualization from the case of Muhammad Yusuf bin Haji Ahmad against public prosecutor that was reported in 1983 with the citation of Volume 2, Malayan Law Journal, page 167.
Facts of the case.
Now let me begin with explaining the fact of the case. The accused's name is Muhammad Yusuf bin Haji Ahmad. On 27th of December 1977, he was charged with trafficking in cannabis under Section 39, Subsection B, Clause 1A of the Dangerous Drug Act 1952. He was found at Padang Besar Railway Station in Perlis with a large amount of cannabis.
Later, he made an appeal claiming that he had met a Thai man at a hotel in Sadao who had threatened him with a pistol. The man had followed him on a motorcycle and then on foot, staying just 20 feet away for the entire journey. However, the journey had lasted him about 1.5 hours.
Legal principle.
The main legal principles that involves here is the defense of duress under Section 94 of the Penal Code. This section states that an act is not an offence if the person is compelled by threats that cause a reasonable apprehension of instant death at the time of the act.
It is highlighted that the duress must be imminent, extreme, and persistent. In general defense context, it is a very strict rule. Fear of anything less than instant death, like being beaten or threatened with future harm, is not enough to accuse a crime.
Court decision.
Finally, let us take a look at the court decision. The outcome of the case is that the plea of duress was rejected. The court had affirmed the conviction and the sentence of life imprisonment.
Defense was rejected because the court felt the threat was no longer imminent. The accused had 1.5 hours where he travelled through public place and a custom checkpoint, but made no attempt to seek help for the police. The court ruled that because he was purchasing a ticket while the Thai man was 20 feet away, the danger of instant death was not present at the very time of the arrest.
However, the court quashed the sentence of full stroke of whipping upon the accused. This was because there were extenuating circumstances that led him to commit the offence, even though they weren't strong enough to provide a full legal defense.
In conclusion, this case shows that the defense of duress requires an immediate and unavoidable threat of death. Even though the accused claimed he acted out of fear, the court held that the strict requirements of Section 94 were not met.
The conclusion.
To conclude, general defenses are an important part of criminal law because they recognize that not every person who commits an offence should be punished, even when the prosecution can prove both actus reus and mens rea that the law allows the accused to rely on general defenses if certain conditions are met. This defense takes into account the circumstances of the accused, such as lack of intention and mental incapacity, emergency situation, or the need to protect oneself or others. Therefore, general defenses help ensure that criminal liability is imposed fairly and justly rather than mechanically punishing every wrongful act. In short, they balance the need to uphold the law with the need to protect individuals from unjust punishment.
Thanks for watching. See you again next week.